What's up guys, welcome back. I'm Lorena from greenhealthycooking.com and today I'm going to teach you how to make finger-licking delicious Argentinian chimichurri. So good. Chimichurri is a sauce most commonly known in Argentinian and Uruguayan cuisine, and it's mostly used to drizzle on top of the most amazing steak that you can get your hands on. I found out that it is also an amazing marinade for cuts such as skirt steak or flank steak, pieces of beef that need a little bit of marinating so they become tender. And all the ingredients that you're going to need for your chimichurri are fresh flat leaf parsley, fresh oregano, raw garlic, red wine vinegar, sea salt, red pepper flakes. That's optional if you like it spicy, but I really like it with the red pepper flakes. And the last ingredient is a high quality extra virgin olive oil. Try and find the best you can get your hands on. And now let's get off to the chopping board. So the first thing that you have to do is remove the leaves from the stems of the parsley. We're not using the stems, we're only using the leaves. So remove enough leaves until you have about 2 cups of parsley and then start chopping it. Now here it's very important that you take your time and that you chop them really, did I already say really small? You're going to want to do a really good job chopping it as small as possible. Then transfer it into a bowl, get back to the chopping board and do the exact same thing with the oregano. We're not going to use as much oregano, we're looking towards about 2 tablespoons of oregano leaves. Again, discard the stems, use only the leaves and chop them just like the parsley, very small. Then add them to the parsley into the bowl. And next up, we're going to chop up our raw garlic. You can use anywhere from 2 to 4 cloves. And just like with the parsley and the oregano, you're gonna want to make sure that the pieces are very small. Of course, now here comes up the question, can't I use a food processor for that? You can, but it doesn't taste the same. The food processor kind of makes everything mush, so it does taste a lot better if you take the time and chop everything up. In the end, it's not that much anyway. It'll take you 10 minutes maybe. So take a good knife, a big cutting board, and just take the time to chop everything up. Now, once you've finished chopping up your garlic, you're going to add that to the bowl as well. And then we're going to season it with sea salt and red pepper flakes. And if you want, you can also add pepper, or you can add pepper instead of the red pepper flakes, whichever way you like it best. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar and half a cup of olive oil. Now mix it all together, and maybe you're gonna want to try it at this point to see if it needs more salt or if you want to add a little bit more spice. And this is basically it. This is your chimichurri. Now you can take your chimichurri and add 2 to 3 tablespoons of it into a freezer bag, like I'm using a silicone freezer bag, and then you can add a flank steak or a skirt steak into the bag as well. Seal it really well and then mush everything around so all the marinade, all this chimichurri gets stuck to the steak, and then you either leave it an hour on the kitchen counter to marinate, or even better, you can put it in the fridge overnight, and then an hour before you're cooking it, you take it out and you put it on the kitchen counter. You never want to put a fridge cold steak into a hot pan or a grill, because then it just burns on the outside and it never cooks in the inside. So you're going to want to have not room temperature, but like not fridge cold steak to put onto whichever hot surface you're cooking it on. I'm using a cast iron pan that I've preheated to as hot as possible over medium heat. And I've added a little bit of avocado oil because it has a high smoke point. And I'm adding my marinated flank steak into it. And I cook it for anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes on one side without flipping, without touching. Then I flip it over and cook it another 6 to 8 minutes on the other side, depending on how I want it, if I want it rare or if I want it rather cooked. I like mine very bloody, but my kids like it cooked through a little bit more. So this steak I'm cooking to 130 degrees internal temperature, which will give me a slightly pink but not bloody running steak. And once the steak is cooked to your liking, you're going to transfer it to a cutting board and you put something on top of it. Most of the time people use aluminum foil. I'll try to avoid aluminum foil because it's not the best for the environment, and instead I just use a stainless steel Tupperware container that I have and I just place it on top. It works perfectly fine. You can use also glass or maybe like a ceramic dish that you have, or a baking dish, maybe like a bread baking dish. Just find something in your kitchen, everything will work. There's no need for aluminum foil. So you place that on top and you let your steak rest for at least 10 minutes. That way all the juices reincorporate into the steak, as opposed to cutting into it and having it all run out and the steak becoming dry. So once the 10 minutes are over, you're going to want to cut the steak into very fine stripes against the grain. Against the grain means against the fiber. Like my steak has fiber that goes this way, so I'm going to cut it against the grain the other way around. So I cut it very thinly, I put it onto a serving plate, and then I drizzle my delicious chimichurri on top of it. And now all there is to do is enjoy the steak. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope you're going to try chimichurri maybe for your next barbecue. And please, if you do, don't forget to snap a picture, post it on Instagram, tag me. I want to know, I want to see if you liked it. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more recipes like this one. And I've got a ton more recipes that you're going to absolutely love if you like this one. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.